Hello everybody, my name is Hayley, and just about 2 weeks ago I finished the Ravensburger 7,000 piece 6 portals, which you can see up here is the box. And instead of like writing a really long post talking about how I did it, I thought I'll just make a little video basically talking about the process, how I went and everything like that, because I know I would love to watch that. So I hope you do too. I've got my little notebook here, supplies, everything, and I'm in front of my beautiful puzzle cupboard, so let's go. So this puzzle was called the 6 portals, so it's obviously Ravensburger 7,000 piece. It's their first 7,000 piece that they've ever done, and it's my second ever large piece count puzzle. I did a 3,000 piece or 3,000 piece Karen puzzles one, and then I was like, I want to do this one. Like, I love the image, but I was like that's a lot, that's a big jump, but I did it anyway. I bought it, and so I'm gonna take, so I decided to do it in halves. So it comes in 2 3,500 piece bags, and for me, because like where are you supposed to do a puzzle that I wrote down the dimensions is 180 centimeters by 120 centimeters. Like, I don't know about you, but I don't have a table lying around that is that large. So I was like, I'll do it in halves, and I thought then it'll be more manageable for me because I've never done a large piece count puzzle, and I'll be able to actually do it on my dinner table because it's smaller. So each half ended up being 90.5 centimeters by 60 centimeters. So yeah, it's a lot smaller and a lot more manageable. So I want to talk a little bit before I start talking about my process about what supplies I use. So let me get those for you. So for like sorting and everything like that, I just used like these, excuse me, these melamine like plates. So you use any plate, and just paper plates that my mum got for me at like the reject shop or something like that. And I've got a pack. These are reusable. It's great. And for the board, oops, sorry pen, for what I actually did it on, for like using my puzzle, for doing my puzzles in general, like all my 1,000 pieces, everything like this, I use core flute, which is like, I don't know, like, yeah, see, it's like plastic. It's what people use to like make like signs and stuff, and you can get it from Bunnings for like not that expensive. I mean, it's not the cheapest thing in the world, but it's light, it's sturdy, like it's like not gonna break, and the pieces can slide around, so you can do whatever you want to do. This is a little cut off that I had that I used as like a little sorting tray. But what I did was I had a big one. There's different sizes you can get. So I had this bigger one, and then I taped more pieces that I'd like cut in half to create a big workspace that I think ended up being something like 150 centimeters long, so longer than it needed to be, and I think it was 115 deep. I'll put a photo so you guys can see, but yeah, it's just made of this, which is core flute. So I'll put the link to this stuff in the description, so you guys can use it if you want. So back to the thing, back to the stuff. So first I want to say the artist. So the artist is Rose Cat Khan, which I have a video of the like signature that I'll put up, and I mean, she is incredibly talented. Like, look at this, look at this. So this is the poster that comes with it. It's very nice, very detailed, but she's an amazing artist. Like, it's crazy. I wish I was this talented. It's a bit mean. And I'll have my poster here so pinpoint what I'm talking about. Sorry if this goes for way too long because I'm a yapper. So let's have a look. Okay, so because I decided to do it in 2 halves, I was like, well, obviously I need to sort. Sorting, like, I really like sorting, it's not fun. But for me, it's the only way I can actually get through a puzzle and actually enjoy what I'm doing. And like have some sort of direction of like, I can do this color now. So the first half, so 3,500 pieces, took me 3.5 hours of sorting. And I did that in 1 sitting. It actually went quicker than you would think, 3.5 hours of sitting there sorting, because it's a bit more, like, it's not too brain consuming. So what I did is I sorted into obviously what I can see. So the first half is this half, and I also have a video of and photo of how I sorted, so I can show you. But with sorting, it was just like what I can immediately see and be like, okay, I can sort that. So the first thing I sorted into, or one of the piles I sorted into, actually it's 3 different piles, but is the border. So like this orange border, that's really, and pink, this is really easy to identify. Same as this one, super easy. And the green, like, you can see that instantly. You can put it in the paper plate or in your pile, and yeah, Bob's your uncle. Next I did like the sky. This is really easy to sort out, as well as this. I mean, this little bit of sky here in the first portal got mixed up a little bit with this, but it's like, you'll figure it out. I figured it out pretty quickly. So just going for skies and things, and I would put like these little identifiable things in the piles with the sky, because then when I was doing the sky, I would just pick out each bit. Greens, I made a green pile because there's a lot of green. Flowers as well, like I put the flowers in the green pile. This sort of brown section here was a bit harder, so I just sort of had like a brown section, like of different shades of brown, because it's a little bit hard. Now this is just oranges, like just trying to pick out the orange. It's pretty easy. And these little dragons, sorry for the glare. And then the trees, which the tree was, I ended up having a miscellaneous pile of like browns that got mixed up within here, so like this section. But and then I did the orange flowers, and I also had a plate where I just put like things that I could easily, like, I really were really distinct, like for example, I don't know, like butterflies. Like I would pull out these pieces of the butterflies and just put them in a separate pile, so then I could just like grab them when I needed. Same as with like these small little details like these. So yeah, 3.5 hours of sorting later, I was done and I was ready to start, which was like very intimidating because sorting's relatively easy, and then you're like, okay, well, I actually have to start now. So I decided that I was gonna time it very casually. So I timed it just on my phone timer, and I'll be honest, I was not very good at this because I kept forgetting to click it. And lucky we have a ring camera in our house, so I could just go back on the ring and like see when I sat down and when I got back up, because I kept forgetting to click my thing. So my time for the first half is more like give or take than the second half. I was a bit better with the second half, but so I've sorted, I've done that. Next up, where do I start? So obviously the edges are pretty easy. That's good, like, yeah. Next up, I went straight to the yellow sky, because this is obviously like, I love doing sky. It's so much fun. It's color gradient and the colors are super vibrant. So I'll have, you know, more video up here and photos you can see. So I just went straight in here and yeah, I did it. it was like, it's still a lot of pieces of color. Like, it's easy, yes, but it's still a lot of pieces, because like this is half of the portal, so you think this is probably, I don't know, 500 to 750 pieces of this color. So you're basically doing a gradient puzzle here. So it's still time consuming, but it was pretty easy peasy, pretty good. And like this, like little, I don't know what they're called, blimps, I don't know. It was easy to identify, easy to do, as well as the dragon. And actually, I'm actually wrong, because I actually didn't do this first. Sorry, I did the borders first. I kind of forgot over that because they're easy, but let's rewind a second. I did these borders first. So, because they're so identifiable, you just grab all these pieces, and even the color gradient, you can see that down the bottom, this is pink, whereas this, it's orange. This is like gold, and it's more like brown. Same with the green. It's like lighter and darker green. So I just went and did these, which for me, one thing I learned when I was doing the second half was just when I saw a piece that had even just the slightest bit of this border, I put it in the border pile, because it is so much easier to build this border when you have all these little pieces for the tiny little bits that poke out, and then you can build off that. So yeah, like I said, the border, it was pretty cruisy, still time consuming, and still it was quite difficult when you were in these sections that were the same color, because like they're still the same color and it's hard to sort of see, but there's lots of like little emblems and like cats and stuff that make it so that it's pretty easy. And you're able to tell the pieces like down these where they join, because they have like this little, I don't know if you can tell, like they're neat, but they have this little like, I don't know, like blur where they meet. So that's easy to tell that you know that that piece is going to go and join. And some pieces have both colors, so you immediately know that that goes on that side. So I was able to build in basically the whole border and the borders for each portal, and then I could go in and do the sky and everything like that. So again, like I said, I did the sky, that was good. And then, if I recall correctly, and then I sort of like, I just went with colors that were jumping out at me. So for example, I did some of the orange flowers, because they were really easy to just pick out with the texture. And then I did like these flowers, were really easy to sort out, so did them. When I got stuck, I just moved on. And then I did the sky here. This is a little bit more difficult because obviously it's a lot more grey, but like this hot air balloon was easy. That's really easy to find, and the bit of blue. So I did the sky next. I love skies. And then this is where I sort of got a bit stuck, because I thought, well, this tree, like, it's really orange. It's really orange. It should be pretty easy because it's a lot of orange, and there's like these like little dragons in it and the crow. I ate my words with that, because this tree, like, it was the hardest part of this entire puzzle. Oh my goodness. This tree actually, my biggest issue was, I mean, this tree, it's just so much orange and so many leaves that you cannot tell where one leaf piece is gonna go. And the crows, somehow I could not get the crows for the life of me. Like, they were mixed up in the miscellaneous, and then I just like, it was a nightmare. But also, I had like the browns sorted out somewhere else, and I was trying to do the orange and like not the branches. So I got stuck, and I was like, I'm moving on, like I'm gonna go somewhere else. And somewhere else I went was this green section. So this green, it's a bit blurry, it's pretty green. Like, you've got green, this is the only place you have green except for the trees there, but it was pretty breezy once I got going. Like, you could work down this waterfall and these swans. Are they swans? They are not swans, but I don't know, birds, so. But this is pretty easy, and then I could like pull out the rock and stuff like that. And like these flowers were easy. So the green, it went slowly, but it was not too hard. Like, it was fine. And then again, I think I went back to this and I was like, nah, I'm leaving again. And then I went to here, did the browns, and like, I'll have to like show a closer video, but there's like the walkway path, and then the turtle was easy, and the trees, and these sort of yellows were quite easy to pick out. So it went slowly again, but it wasn't too hard. And then I had to move back to the tree. What I knew I had to do was I knew I had to get the browns. I knew I had to almost build this tree and then go out from the branches and to the like stuff, because like I was stuck. So I sorted out the browns, which wasn't too easy, and then I just sat there with the pieces in a pile, and eventually I just shape sort, because I was like, and I just had to go like piece by piece and look really hard, because like, yeah, this was super hard, and I was very happy to be done with it. Very happy. But overall, besides this portal, which is a whole portal, I had a great time with this half. Great time. It was fun. I love doing sky, and I mean, the detail's beautiful. So besides the tree, I had a good time. So half one took me, let's see, yep, well, half one took me around 25 hours including sorting, which is around like 21 hours of puzzling, which it's really give or take, because I probably forgot to record a little bit, but around like 21 hours give or take a little bit. So 21 hours of puzzling, and does that make sense? 3.5 hours, that should be 24 and a half. I'm not good at math. Anyway, so 21 hours. So it was a lot, but it was actually quicker than the Karen Puzzles one. Like, the Karen Puzzles one I did was 3,000 beats. This was 3.5. That took me, I think, 25 hours of actual puzzling, I think. Or maybe it was including sorting, I can't remember. But anyway, it was around the time I thought I would take, given that how long I took doing the 3,000 piece. So then I was like, how am I going to pack this up? Because I'm using the exact same piece of Corfu, the exact same board to do the second half. So I somehow need to pack up the first half and put it somewhere. So what I ended up doing is packing up into like sections and putting it back in the lid, because the like fit of the pieces is not that tight. Like, some sections you could pick it up and be fine, but there was like one particular section in this bit, I can't remember where, but it would not hold together, and like trying to pick it up to put in the lid was really difficult. And honestly, they're all quite, like, I had to be really careful when I lifted them up. Like, it wasn't holding together like really naturally. It was like no, I can't make a wrong move. But I had a few mishaps, but I ended up getting it all in, and I thought I'm gonna put it in the lid, because the lid's like this deep, instead of the actual box, because as you can see up here, the box is really deep, and I was like, I'm never gonna get those pieces out, like trying to pick them up from that deep of a box. So I just put it in the lid, and then I put like a vacuum bag, like, you know, the big bags that you put like linen in and you vacuum seal them. I just put that around the box so that it wouldn't collect dust while I move on to the second half. So, second half, which is, flip the page, this half. So, again, I had to sort, like, it's a lot of sorting. I know people that hate sorting, but it's actually pretty good sorting. Like, it's nothing crazy. It's pretty fun. This one, I was like, this sorting's going to be good again. And because I was a lot familiar with, like, the border and stuff like that, I was able to do it quicker this time. So I did my sorting in 3 hours. And I ended up having a break halfway through because I was like, I'm tired. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. But I did it. So, again, I sorted by, like, borders and obviously edge. Borders, blue sky. And I put like these little dragons and stuff in the blue sky pile. And then I did the ocean, which I also put the fish in there because they were really easy to see. Then I did this white sky, and I also did like pieces that had these trees, like the leaves, because they were really easy to see. And then I did the purple, and then I did pieces that were purple that had this branch on it. And then I just had pieces where I could see like these windows and stuff, and bits and pieces where I just was like, I know that goes in this portal, so I'm just gonna put it in the same pile. But I had a much bigger miscellaneous pile for this one, because this like brown and fur, like it looks like it's easy to see, but it's actually not very easy. It's very brown. And sorry for the glare. Again, like here it's very dark. Like it's hard to see where it actually belongs when you're not looking at it as a big picture. You're just looking at this one little piece. So I thought that's a problem for later. Later Haley can deal with that. So she did. But I did this one first because I love this portal. This is my favorite portal. I flew through the sky. I flew through the ocean. The fish was so much fun. This ocean was so much fun. And like these sailboats and dragons, they were super easy. And unlike the other portals where I had like the top half, I pretty much almost fully completed this portal straight off the bat because it was super easy. It was super fun. Loved it. Then I moved on to this white sky because it had the yellow, which was easy, and it was easy to build off from the yellow to the pink to the blue. And then you had all these like little dragons that were easy to do, and these white branches that you could start building off. So I had this to like here done when I went through this section. And because I really didn't know where these pieces were, like I didn't have this really sorted well, I was like, I'll do that later. Then I went to the purple, which the purple was harder than I thought it would be. Just because these branches, they're like super hard to tell like where you're supposed to put each piece. So I ended up going like the pieces that had like stars on them, the moon, and I also sorted these little, you tell, little like lights or like, I don't know what they are, but these were easy to like sort of build around. And then I did like these buildings, the windows, they were easy. And then I was like left with all this darkness. So I just went through my pile again, and I was like, it was much easier to tell where something went when you had been doing the puzzle for, 20 hours already. So once I actually resorted it, it was pretty easy. Then I did the animals, went through this, and I just sort of went like back and forth between this and this, and I eventually finished this first and then went to this, and I ended up shape sorting for this because these browns were really hard to do, but it wasn't like that hard. Like it was just I had to shape sort and go piece by piece, and just looking at things that I could identify. But this portal felt easier than the other one. I think maybe that's because I was more familiar with how this puzzle worked and everything like that. I think also because this portal was easy, and I think it was a bit easier. But I think I just like I had the hang of it a lot better than the first half, and I just knew that when I was stuck, I'd just move on, come back, and yeah. And so I ended up going through this half, like, probably talked way quicker for this half, but it was pretty easy, because you're so familiar with what you're actually doing and how the pieces work and everything like that. It was pretty breezy for this half. It was just time consuming. So this half took me, let's have a look, 21 hours including sorting, so around 18 hours, because my sorting took me 3 hours, 18 hours of puzzling. So that's 3 hours quicker than half one, which I think I would account majority of that 3 hours to the tree, because that tree, I sat there for so long trying to do that tree. But this side was quicker. It felt quicker and it felt easier, so I wasn't surprised that it was quicker. So overall, I had a great time and it was super fun. Overall, I think, let me rewind. So my total time was 6.5 hours of sorting. That's a lot of sorting. But it was a lot easier when you're doing it in half. So in total it took me around 48 hours including sorting. So what's that? 40 hours of puzzling, like straight puzzling. Yeah, it was a lot of hours. 47 hours of puzzling is a lot of puzzling. But I was using my headphones, and I didn't put too much pressure on myself. Like, I knew that if I tried to be like, well, I have to do this much puzzling in a day, I would stress myself out and then eventually procrastinate it. So I just went quite casual with when I did it, and I wrote down the dates I did it between, so I'll just show you. So half one took me 17 days to do. So I did it from the 15th of November to the 1st of December. So 17 days, and like some days I wasn't puzzling at all, and some days I was doing a little bit, other days I was doing a few hours. And then I had a little break between the first half and the second half, and then the second half took me only 13 days, between the 6th of December to the 18th of December. The second half I put a little bit more pressure on myself because I really wanted to be finished for an online speed puzzling competition, because I needed to use the table. So, and that was on the 21st. So I was like, I need to hurry up. But it ended up being fine. Like, I was okay. So yeah, it was a lot of puzzling, and I learned a lot. Like, I learned a lot about puzzling because it was long, and I got better at shape sorting and looking for things that are really identifiable and not putting too much pressure on myself. And yeah, so I'll just say that my favorite portal, let's hold this up for you. My favorite portal was this one, and it was the easiest. And my least favorite portal was this one. This sucked, but it's still pretty, so it paid off. And then I took apart the second half in sections again. Actually, no, I didn't, sorry. I grabbed my huge piece of core flute, and we disassembled my table, and because we have a really small house, we don't have much room. Where the table was the only place that I could actually put the puzzle on the floor and it fully fit out. So we disassembled the table, and then I just put the piece of core flute on the ground, slid it off onto the ground after I vacuumed and everything, got my first half, and then undid all the pieces and put it together on the floor, because that was the only place I could do it. So I obviously have a ton of photos of it finished. I mean, it was beautiful. When you see it all done like that, and it's huge, like, I laid on it. It was huge. it was definitely rewarding, and I felt very proud of myself for actually committing to it, because I think when I first started it, I was like, you know, this is a huge challenge. Like, will I actually finish it? Will I actually do it? And I did it. I said I would do it, and I did it. And it was good. So I assembled it. I took tons of photos, and I just looked at it for a while. And then I was like, I'm not ready to break it up. So I ended up taking the entire thing in sections again and putting it in the box, which I'm definitely sus on it actually being easy to get out when I want to get it out, because of the pieces not holding together very well. But that's a problem for another me, not me now. So yeah, I had a great time, but I am for sure happy that I'm finished, because I basically didn't do any 1,000 pieces during that time period, and like I have all these beautiful Reverie puzzles that I want to do, and these ones, like I have so many puzzles I want to do now that I can finally just do a 1,000 pieces in a row, because I was definitely really committed to this. But I do have other I don't have any other large piece count puzzles that I want to do next. I definitely am interested in the 5,000 piece was it the Space Odyssey one? But that definitely looks intimidating. But next on the agenda, I'll just show you guys 1 second, is my Christmas present, which is the Educar 3,000 piece. I think it's like coma or something. So I think this should be very fun, very easy, but I definitely need a break. Definitely need a good, like, at least a month break before I do anything like this. And also, I take up the entire dinner table when I'm doing a large piece count puzzle, so it means like nobody can use it. So I'll at least give my mum the dinner table for a good month or two before I steal it away again. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else I wanted to say other than the fact that if you've never done a large piece count puzzle before, don't worry. And you want to do the 6 portals, don't worry. Like, it's not that hard. And that's coming from me, who's never really done large piece count before. I've only done 3,000 pieces before I did this puzzle. And granted, I did do it in half, so I didn't actually do 7,000 pieces in one. But for me, it was more manageable to do it in halves. But I would love to do these puzzles in whole if I had the space. But it's the type of puzzle where everything is so well thought out about, like I watched a video of the artist talking about how she designs puzzles, like images for puzzles, and like she talks about making little identifiable pieces and stuff like that, and the puzzle is like that, like, sorry, the puzzle is exactly like that. Like every single section of this puzzle is different, so no matter where you are, you can always sort of tell where something goes and change sections, do sections. Like, it's just a breezy, fun image, and it's just a great time. It's a great time, and if you have the space, if you have a dinner table you can steal, even just to do the half, I definitely recommend doing it. And because I didn't know where to get it when I bought it, because I bought it early November and it was before it released in the US, so I didn't even know where to get it. I ended up ordering it from Amazon Germany, and I think the price when I bought it was 170 something, and I ended up having a gift card that I had, so I ended up only paying 120 or something. But yeah, it's an expensive puzzle, but like it's 100% worth it. So thank you so much for watching. If you made it through this whole time, I'm definitely a yapper, but I love yapping about puzzles. I had a great time and I'm super glad. I'm super proud of myself. I'm super happy I achieved completing this puzzle, and it's great to show people that I did it. And yeah, so I'll make sure that I have lots of pictures of it completed. And I will say that I actually didn't take any progress photos. Yeah, like, I don't know, I was just too in it. I was so in it that I just didn't take progress photos. So I only have like my sorting and then the finish. That's why I wanted to talk through how I did it, because I don't have any photos to show you how I did it because I didn't take any photos. But I hope that was interesting, and that you decide now that you need to do this puzzle, or if you have this puzzle that you feel maybe a little bit less intimidated by such a huge puzzle. But yes, yeah, if you want to see anything else, like, I have tons of puzzles, but I also have a lot of fun ideas, and I have beautiful puzzles, stuff like that. Yeah, I just thought it would be easier to do this than to try and write a huge long Facebook post where it was just like really hard to understand. So I just thought I'd make a little video. So yeah, guys, hope everybody has a great holidays and is doing lots of puzzling. And if you've done this puzzle, let me know in the comments how you went. What were your thoughts? Did you find the tree as annoying and hard as I'd found the tree? And what was your favourite portal? Or even if you haven't done the puzzle, let me just open it. What is your favourite portal out of all these portals? Because they're all beautiful. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day.